Hello Aries, thank you very much for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. For the supportive oracle cards, Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. Okay, Aries, yes. We're going to do relationship first, single second, and oracle cards come out where needed. I'm very expressive at the moment, all over the place with it. Not sure why, but we'll find out. Ooh. Okay. Aries. Okay. I like where this is. This looks good. Let's get into it to be sure, of course. The first thing I'm seeing with your partner, there's a history connection here, and it's kind of like, it feels like kind of like trying to turn over a new leaf. The first thing I'm showing here, that Six of Cups is in their challenge position. The Ace of Wands is what they're dealing with. They're trying to create a new situation, trying to leave the past in the past, and I feel like that's the challenge, to put the past or leave the past in the past. It's kind of like better things can come forward. It's almost like what happened in the past, there seems to be some type of disruption, but it's one of those things like, kind of like, you know, using manure for better turnout in a garden. You know what I mean? Taking the less than favorable stuff and just growing from it and using it as a strengthening point to where you're building it from, that you're not going to return back to. That's where I feel them moving on from. And they're trying to pull in this whole new leaf feel to me. It's like a whole new thing. A lot of good energy going forward. And I see you here. Your initial reaction is the Page of Pentacles. I feel this earth feel, and I'm kind of feeling like, well, let's see where this goes. I don't feel like you're over-invested in this new direction just to start with. You're not negating it out, but you're just kind of like, well, let's see how it goes. There's a lot of positive energy moving forward, but you're kind of like, well, all right, let's see. Let's see. And your challenge card is the Emperor card. Don't sink your own ship is what they're saying. It looks like things are going well, but I feel like before you really jump all into this, and it's maybe this is my interpretation of Aries because I have some in my chart, but it's kind of like it's either do or don't. And you at this point, oddly enough, it's one of those rare times where you're like, you're quasi into it. You're like, you're not really in, you're not really out. This energy usually doesn't serve Aries, in my opinion. It's either yes, we're in and let's do it, or no, I'm out and I'm done. So you're kind of in this weird spot, like, I don't know if I want to invest in this change. I don't know if I really buy into it. The Emperor is here is saying, don't hold yourself in that spot. Get yourself to make a decision. I'm feeling the Emperor as your challenge card is saying, make a decision. Either in and let's go, or no and goodbye. Whatever that means for you. Because what I feel is, like, for a moment here, you're just kind of holding to the side, like, we'll see. I do see where you're heading, though, because your partner is holding to this new change and they are showing you great promise. I feel like a day, maybe two tops, and you're going to make your decision. I'm getting the Four of Wands, like your partner wants to do this, and you're like, you know what? I would like this to work out. It sounds great. I would like it to work out. And you're like, all right, I'm going to make my decision, and I feel you're going to go into this. Granted, it's a general read, but I feel you jumping in. The Chariot with the Four of Wands is telling me you're honoring the relationship, and you're like, all right, then I'm all in. Halfway, and definitely, assuming an Aries is watching this, because I know other signs do too, and that's cool, that's great. But, weigh in. Do you think, is that how the energy works? Because that's my experience with it. It's either it's in and let's go, or we're out and we're done. I've found personally, like, if I'm in the middle mode, it's just not working. It's not a happy moment. It's either yes and let's go, or no and goodbye. I just don't feel middle ground works for Aries. I just don't feel like it does. It's either in or out. Now, as this keeps going forward, excuse me, my nose is starting to drip. That's awesome. Yay. Your partner is wondering if this is really in their favor. And I feel like you're kind of still making them sweat out. Sweat it out. Excuse me. Sorry. You're making them sweat it out a little bit. I feel this is very interesting because I feel like you're all in and they're still sweating it out. Why are they still sweating it out? I feel like the way you're playing it, I feel like you may be toying with your partner just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because I see them with the cornucopia, but I also see them with the temperance. Because the way you're getting into this, I do feel like you're all in, but they're not real. They're sweating it out a little bit for some reason. Because I feel like you're all in. You're doing this. But something about your energy is just kind of like making them wonder, like, is this good or bad? Because I'm seeing them also with the King of Swords. I feel like you're just making them sweat it out a little bit. And I'm feeling that Aries energy again. It's like, if there's something from the past you're not quite settled with, but you are all into this, you might be just making them sweat it out just because you kind of feel like it's valid. Like, if you're making them sweat it out, you're purposely making them sweat it out. It's a general read. Take that for what it is. So you don't have to do this. I feel like a lot of you, though, are just kind of like, you're just making it kind of known. Like, all right, you messed up in the past. Not really the most pleased with that. I just feel like you're just making your point, but making them sweat it out a little bit. It's not permanent. You do move on from that energy. I feel that. But it might be kind of like a, I don't want to say vindictive, but just making your point. Like, watch your P's and Q's. It's kind of, you're making that point to them. Like, watch your P's and Q's. And you just kind of make them sweat it out a little bit. I'm feeling it again. I feel like there's something else I'm supposed to say with it. So I'm waiting for that to hit because you got the 10 of Pentacles and the 4 of Wands. You're very, very, very connected with this romance or this relationship. It feels very romantic, but I understand other people watch this for other than romantic connections. Like, we're just going to keep going. But you're making your point known. Like, there was a misstep in the past. And you're letting it be known, like, I'm letting this go this time, and I'm going forward with you this time because this is going in a much better direction. But you just kind of want to make that point be clear, like, you screw up again. And this might not go as easy for you next time. Because I feel like I do. This is how this is connecting in, so take it with a grain of salt, general read, but that's how it feels. But you do keep going forward. And I feel like the proof is in the pudding with your partner. Like, they do see, like, you're going forward and you are all in, but they're getting the point. They realize, they get the point. You're letting this go and you're going forward with this and it keeps getting better. But you are all in, but you're making your point. I feel like you're making your point. Now, as you keep going forward with this, I'm getting, you got the Fool card with the heart chakra, which yes, it's the green, it's the heart chakra. Not even going to go there. When I'm feeling this, what I'm feeling for you is like you're literally letting it go. You might have a moment where you're kind of making them sweat it out. It doesn't really last that long. This is going to be where you give your whole heart effort into this. You're all in. Let's do this. And your heart is in this. You love this person. You truly love this person. So you are letting the past go. You're giving this the complete effort, not holding back. When this goes forward, and you're not making, this is when you're not making your partner sweat it out any longer if you decide to do that, because, subjective. If you don't want to do that, you won't. They've got the Sun card with the caring connections. I'm getting this is coming together very strongly for them. It's kind of like they've gotten the what do you call that? The reprieve from the governor. Like they were really worried about this going into the future and causing more problems. But they're seeing how you're completely into this and you're completely going forward with them. They love this. This means the world to your partner. I'm getting you're going to get this back in spades. I think that's good. Why do I say that? Because when I say spades, I'm like, is that good? 'Cause, like, everything you're putting in, you're getting back. whatever it is, whatever you're putting in and you're giving of this situation to your partner, you're getting it back, and you're getting it back even more. Like, it's working great. This is really, really going a lot better than expected. I feel that these cards are here purposely to say that this outcome is a much, much better than expected. Much better. So I'm not going to say it's all sunshine and rainbows, but from where you thought this was going to where it ends up, it's much better than where you expected it to end up. That's what I'm getting. So I'm not going to say you're having that wonderful I want a new car moment, but you weren't expecting it to go this well. It's going great. It's going great. Anything else? All right, I think we got Aries for a relationship. Let's do Aries single. We'll put these here. Is that upside down? Nope. Okay. Messages for single Aries. What's going on for single Aries? Something they can do something with, a heads up to help them see what's really happening around them with the person that they're interested in. I feel like we need to leave those there, so I will. Okay. Not that I don't reiterate this enough, but definitely an intuitive reader, but I'm also of that school of thought. Usually when cards pop out, they pop out for a reason, so I'm not one to negate that. I don't like to negate them out. I know some readers do it where they put them back in, or they're like, that's too many cards, and that's cool for them, but I'm kind of that school of thought, like if they pop out, like you're supposed to pay attention. That's where it's ending up. And this is something that goes with it. Okay. Face down. One face down card at the very... This feels, whatever this is, it's gonna be stretched out a bit. So, fair warning. Now, is this a repeat? Why? Okay. Ace of Swords, Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is in the past. Ace of Swords is in the environment. Now, this doesn't have to be a past relationship coming back. This could be like a moment where you were getting to know somebody, or you had a very passionate moment with somebody, and then it just seemed to not create a situation after that. Kind of like, maybe somebody was visiting from out of town and you had a really great moment, but then it kind of moved on. Or maybe something went a little too far and one of you wasn't in a position to actually create a relationship. Your business on what that might mean. Basically, there was a great moment in the past and it just it was there and it stayed there. It didn't go any farther. But what I'm getting is this person is deciding in the present moment, for whatever reason, whether it's appropriate or not, it's time to bring that back. And they're coming towards you and they're like, we've had this great moment. It was in the past, but I've been thinking about it. And as far as I'm concerned, this is the time to bring it back. That's their attitude. Whether it's appropriate or not is in your ball of wax, in your circumstances. They're coming back. Because when I'm seeing this, I do see that you enjoy this person greatly. You do enjoy this person greatly, but I'm also seeing this Page of Cups. For whatever reason, there might be something here that you're not thinking this is completely ready to go forward. You're like, this situation is not ready to just take off. We don't got our seatbelts fastened. We're not on the runway. It's not ready to take off, but you're kind of like, but I am in the airport. I'm in the airport. I could take this trip. That's kind of how I'm feeling about it here. It's kind of like not on the plane yet. Not got my feet. I'm not even on the plane. Let alone got my feet, fastened. Feet fastened. My seatbelt fastened. There we go. But I am in the airport, and they do make a good case. Like I did enjoy this before, but I'm seeing some conflict here. You got the Knight of Swords with the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like you're looking at the situation like, all right, we had this great moment in the past. True. And then it just didn't really go anywhere, but it wasn't bad, but, whatever. And you're kind of thinking, I don't know if I want to do this again with the Nine of Swords. Like, am I just going to repeat something that already happened? And just, like, I don't know. Because I'm kind of looking for something to go farther than that. it was a great moment, and it was a great time. But I don't really just want these little wonderful moments every once in a while. I'm looking for somebody to cement into my life at this point. I just don't know if that's really going to serve me, and I feel like if I do this again, it's going to be more of just the same. It's not going to change from what it was. They're still coming towards you. They're like, no, we need to do this. And I feel like they might even be trying to convince you, it can be different this time. I just don't feel you sold on that idea right off the bat. So you're going forward. You've got the Eight of Swords on its side, and it's going into the strategy. Now, the way I'm feeling about this, Eight of Swords is a trap card, feeling like you can't do anything with the situation. When it's on its side going into the strategy, it's kind of like, it's kind of like your attitude towards this is like, if it's going to stay the same as it was, I don't really think I want it. But if we can change it and it can get better over time, I'm not saying it has to be perfect right now, but if we can move in a good direction together and we're moving in this direction to change things, if we have a strategy to move forward to make something more happen from this, then, I'm into that. But the question is, you're not really sure, is there a different way to do this or not? It's dependent on the other person. You're open to changing things. Are they? So even if you're the person in the position to actually make changes, you're not willing to make those changes unless they say they're all in and they're going to, reap the rewards of these changes with you. So there's a talk between you and this person. Where do they see this going? If changes are made, or if they're the ones having to make the changes, are they going to happen? And the strategy is here. Are we going to work this out? Is this something I'm going to continue to do? Do we want to do this? This is very interesting because we have a lot coming in at once. Because I think I showed this with the Ten of Cups. Like, you really enjoy this person. You really do. You'd like this to happen is what I'm getting. You would. You can see how this could be a good thing. The Tower and the Moon popped out upside down. The Tower is kind of like a stagnant moment. But the Tower reversed, the way I read it anyway, and this is how it feels here, just to be fair, it's not going to go away. It's just saying not just yet, but you're seeing how the strategy going forward will create a Tower moment at some point for somebody. The Moon reversed is saying everything's right on the table and you know exactly what that means. The Tower might not be falling right now, but it will fall at some point. And it's quite obvious how that's going to hit people. So the Moon reversed is saying you know exactly where this is going, and they're saying you cannot get around the Tower. It's not happening right now, but sooner or later the Tower will fall. So a big change is coming one way or another. And you're standing in the spot of the world. You realize there's a new phase coming in your life. Because I feel like the talk, this is all resulting from this talk because you're both deciding you want to move forward. This person came towards you. They came towards you, and you do like this person. So if they can give you a strategy, you're willing to do it. And I'm getting at this point, if you're the one making the decision to change things, it was coming anyway is how you're looking at it, and it's time to do it. It's just when to do it. If it's the other person, the reason they came back towards you is because they're ready to make that change as well. So it's not about if it's going to happen, it's about when it's going to happen. And you're in. You're in. Once the talk goes through, you're like, all right, I'm in. Let's do this. The King of Cups shows up first. Because I feel like you're getting together, you're enjoying time, you're cementing in your relationship, because at this point it's becoming a relationship. Maybe more private than not at this point. And I'm seeing you move forward, and it's very calculated how it's moving forward. You're putting a lot of effort into this. You're very careful how you're moving forward. These are in your thoughts, but this is also how you're moving through this situation. Very careful steps, very calculated movements. You know what you're doing. You know where you're going. You're keeping an eye on the other person. You're both on the same page. You're moving forward slowly. And what I'm getting, actually, this is also in your thoughts, but this is also what's motivating the next motion. It's the sixth chakra, which is the third eye chakra. And what I'm getting from this is like when the right moment appears, you will move forward. It's kind of like you're setting up the chessboard, and when your move is apparent, when your move is in front of you and you see it there, you will take that moment. You're just waiting for things to line up, but it's definitely coming and you know it's going to come. When it does, you're ready, you move forward. So when you guys move forward, you got the Strength card, and the face down card is the Yin Yang card. The Tower. The Tower is coming for somebody. For you, it's not so much a tower because you're the one pushing it forward, you and your partner, you and your potential partner or partner at this point, however that's working out. So it's not so much the tower for you at this point because you're kicking the ball out to the field, but there's definitely going to be a tower moment for somebody, is what I'm getting. And it's going to balance out. The yin yang is like the good and the bad. It's not going to be all good. It's not going to be all bad. There's going to be a lot to work through here. And the Strength card is saying there's going to be a lot of work going on here. You both want this to happen, and you're going to fight to make it happen. So I'm getting, they're saying, don't expect this to be easy. It's not ripping off a Band-Aid. It's kind of like grabbing a bag of rocks and dragging it up a sandy hill. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a lot of effort. You can do it, but you're going to have to put in a lot of effort to make this work out. I feel like both of you are invested. Once you start, you're going to complete it. But they're saying this is going to take a lot to make it work out. But it will. Are we good? That's where it's ending. So it's good. I feel like it gave you the information you need. If this reading hit for you, I feel like it gave you what you needed. All right, I think we're done. All right, so thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.